Okay. Okay. Well, welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley. And today we're going to look at famous quotes again. Thomas Jefferson. Hang on while I invite folks to join me. Okay. Here we go. Hi, Heidi. Okay. Oh. Hi, Chow. Hi, Heidi. Can you guys hear me? Because I can't hear anyone.
Yes, I can. Hi, Oakley.
Hi, Chow. How are you? Long time no see.
Yeah, it has been quite a long time. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Great. It's great to see you. Heidi,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, a little bit
Okay.
delayed. Uh,
Okay.
it's my problem. Now it's better. Yeah,
Well, I don't know. There's some obviously weird technical problems going on
yeah,
here
especially.
today.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I suspect North Korea, but you know.
Maybe Russia.
Hey, hey, man, I wasn't going to talk about the movie, you know. I wasn't. I'm talking about Thomas Jefferson here, not the movie. It's okay. Let me go. Heidi, I love your new avatar. Very Christmassy. Come on back. Anyway, Chow, what have you been up to?
Yes, I was in the school for the last semester for my undergraduate study, and now I just got back home. So almost finished my undergraduate. Almost.
Almost. Right. What do you got? Finals? You still got finals right ahead of you, right?
Yeah, I had a essay to finish, a paper to finish in the next year. Yeah. Apart from that, nothing left in my school. So
Cool. Congratulations. Let me
thank you.
uh, let me congratulate you, Heidi.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go. Hi, Heidi. How are
Yeah,
you?
fine. So.
So. I like your new avatar.
Oh, thank you very much.
Very Christmassy.
Christmas.
Happy holidays. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me. Sorry about the technical problems. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But okay, in any case, it's famous quotes class, so we're going to look at Thomas Jefferson quotes today. Zhao, do you know who Thomas Jefferson is?
Yeah, of course, the founding father who of the United States and wrote the the Declaration of Independence.
Well, one of the
Yeah.
authors, one of the founding fathers, or there were several, but anyway, yeah, that's absolutely correct. And he went on to, of course, fame and fortune to be on the $20 bill.
What's that? $20 bill.
$20 bill, the American $20.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
his picture's on the $20 bill. Wait, or is that Jackson? Oh, now I can't remember who's on the American money. Oh my goodness. Jefferson's
Okay.
on the nickel. He's on the nickel. Wait, what am I
Okay.
thinking? All right. Excuse me.
Well, you
Sorry.
haven't used the dollar for a long time because you're in
Yeah, that's
Philippines.
right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Very good. Heidi, do you know anything else about Thomas Jefferson?
Not so much.
Not so much. Well, Giles, totally correct. He's one of the founding fathers, and he was one of the primary authors of the Declaration of Independence, and then afterwards the Constitution of the United States of America. Uh, often, often quoted, at least by Americans, and sometimes controversial, frankly, because he had a lot to say about freedom and human rights, and yet at the same time, he had a plantation with African slaves. Eh. So, eh. Rumored to have had fathered some illegitimate children in his day, a la, I don't know. So he was kind of the Bill Clinton of his time. I don't know, a little controversial. In any case, we're going to look at some of his quotes today. I'm going to go ahead and do the screen share. I'm going to start. We don't really need to discuss it, but you might have seen this before. Uh, in fact, it is the preamble to the Declaration of Independence, which was penned, in fact, by Thomas Jefferson. I think Chow stepped out for a moment. Heidi, can you read this one for us, please?
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with a certain unalienable,
Unalienable.
unalienable right,
Unalienable.
that among these are liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah. Okay, a couple endowed. Okay, if you're endowed, you're given. It's an automatic gift, endowed by the Creator, I suppose, uh, in reference to whomever you may think your Creator is. Certain unalienable rights, unalienable rights. Even I can't pronounce it. That's good practice for anyone who wants to do pronunciation. In any case, unalienable rights. Okay, undeniable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This last one, of course, very controversial. What does that mean? What does that mean?
The pursuit of un, unalienable is we can't share with someone, or we can't separate it, divide it. No.
That's right. It can't be alienated. If you're alienated, you're separated. That's right. Very good way to, better way to put it, actually. Unable to be separated from themselves, I suppose. Right. Of course, the right to life, that's self-explanatory. Liberty, okay, freedom, fine. Pursuit of happiness.
Our right. We have a right of about my life, liberty, and we can seek happiness.
Can seek happiness. Okay, that's another way to put it. All right. So, Heidi, I'm just curious. Have you ever run across this before? I mean, as an American, I've seen this countless times. You know, in my education, in my whatever, in society, I've seen this quote so many times. Have you ever seen this before?
No.
Really? Wow. Yeah, I guess part of I don't know, American educational brainwashing. I don't know. I've seen this so many times. In any case, this is the preamble, like
Mhm.
the introduction to the Declaration of Independence. Uh, okay. Um, he has other quotes, and let's get an idea of what Thomas Jefferson was like. Let's take a look at them. Chow, you're back.
Yeah,
Okay, great. Can you read this next quote for us?
yeah. Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask. Act. Action will, how to pronounce it? Then, with the
Delineate.
delineate and define you.
Okay, well, delineate. You
Delineate.
When
Yeah,
you
it's like
delineate something, well, you can see actually the word line in here, right? You draw hard lines, you draw boundaries around something. For example, you delineate a border between two countries or two provinces or whatever. You mark it out in a clearly defined boundary. So, okay, action will, all right, define your boundaries. Well, okay, we'll create boundaries that define you, I guess, would be a way to say it. So, Chow,
yeah.
what do you think of that about this? Do you know any other similar quotes? Because I do.
Um, yes, like the advertisement of Nike. Just do it.
Just do it. Okay, this is a famous quote up here. Just do it. Well, okay, fine. Yeah, you have a point. Uh, okay, true. Um, I wasn't thinking of that one, but yeah, that works. Another quote, which is by I don't know who. I can't name the source. Uh, Action speaks louder than words. Is another one. Um, yeah, I think you've got the idea. Chow? Do you believe this?
Yeah, I think so. Only action can reveal your real desire, and yes, that I agree with that.
And okay, I think the idea here is that your action, what you do, defines you, not what you say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Heidi, any comment about this quote?
No.
No. In that case, let's move on to the next one. Heidi, can you read this one?
Rightful liberty is an obstructed action according to our will within limits drawn around us by the equal right of others. I do not add within the limit of the law, because law is often but a tyrant will, and always so when it violates the right of the individual.
Okay. One thing, obviously, Thomas Jefferson had quite an impressive vocabulary. I think that's quite evident. Um, that's one thing, and also I want to add, he's obviously, although his vocabulary is great, I could teach him a thing or two about grammar. He forgot the commas here. I need to bracket this within limits with commas in order for this to make sense. There. I've improved on Thomas Jefferson. Wow, I feel special. Okay. Unobstructed. Obstruction is to block something, to block or prevent something. Uh, Obstruction of justice is a common collocation. Do you know what that means? It is actually a law, obstruction of justice in American law. Heidi, do you have any idea what that means?
Clear action. Everybody
Uh,
can see it. No, nothing hide it.
hmm uh, there is a law against obstruction of justice in the United States.
Mm.
That is, if you do anything to confuse or slow down or obstruct an investigation into criminals and the criminal behavior, the
Uh,
the
right
court
for
can.
right for liberty is freedom of action is within the limited law. Law decides some limitation.
Uh,
The rightful liberty is you can
okay,
do
right.
it as far as you don't touch the law limitation.
Well, he goes on to drawn around us by the equal rights of others. So
Equal
I
rights
don't
is
know.
under the law. So law has a limitation. There isn't everybody can be free under the law.
Well, he's saying never mind the law. You It's amazing how much the founding fathers were against government
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all precepts of government. See, one amazing thing about the founding of the United States that people don't seem to grasp is that even Americans don't grasp. I don't mean just people from everyone doesn't seem to grasp is that the founding fathers set it up in the idea that once the government has gains too much control, i.e., the tyrant's will, the idea is there's supposed to be a revolution that brings down the government. The idea is to empower the people to repeatedly topple the government, throw it down, and start over again. The founding fathers' idea was that no government can just continue on and on. That's just impossible. Sooner or later, tyrants will take over. The whole idea is that it should be destroyed periodically. And that's why things like gun laws, everyone should
yeah.
have a gun. I mean, that's the idea. It's not so people can go around killing children in a preschool or murdering people in a movie theater. The idea is that once the government gets too big for its britches,
Mm.
there's an idiom for you. Don't get too big for your britches. Britches means pants. Okay. Anyway, I see. Jefferson had absolutely no faith whatsoever in government, which is a funny thing to say because he became president. But anyway, I like this quote. Hi, Nader. How are you? You found
Hi,
us.
finally I made it.
Yeah, I had to use a little tricky method. I didn't, again, a little technical problems today. But anyway, glad you found us.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you. What do
Nice
you
to see
think
you
of
as
this?
well.
What do you think of this quote here?
I'm not sure. I didn't read it.
Oh, okay, all right. You just got here. Let me talk to Chow then. Chow,
Yeah.
what do you think of this quote?
I think I totally agree with him. I think he's absolutely right on this point that the liberty should limited by the equal right or somebody called the natural right of people, but not about the law, because the law can be the will of the tyrant, and the law is also the natural right or the natural law is different than the legislation created by the Congress. Is the legislation can be a tool to suppress the individual liberty. I think Jefferson focused on the individual liberty. That is why when he created the Declaration of Independence, there was no Congress, and there's no judge. I mean, no court, and the Congress can. There is a Congress, but there's no the president or something, and there's Congress can only produce a law, but it cannot enforce the law. So I think that was his intention for doing that, because when the government
Hmm.
got too big, it will become a tyranny.
Right. It just a tyranny pronunciation.
Tyranny.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's basically the idea. He's saying that. just the equal rights of others, the respectful rights that understanding that everyone has equal rights is more important than actually creating laws. Whether those laws are supposedly whatever, he doesn't say all laws are bad. I don't think that's what he's saying, but he's saying they can be bad. So first and preeminent are the basic human rights of others, right? I think that's what he's saying. So, if your government makes stupid laws, ignore them. That's how I see it. I'm a big fan of that. Okay, am I reading too much into that? Maybe. Possibly. But I think Chow has maybe a better idea than me. Okay, I like this next quote. Nader, can you read this one?
Okay. Do you have that quote? You are free as long as you respect the freedoms of the other.
I don't know.
You are free. You're free as long as you respect the freedom of the other, or until you violate the freedom of the others.
Is that Thomas Jefferson, or is that somebody
No, no,
else?
no, no. This is This
Just
is a famous quote in Egypt or in the
uh,
Arabic culture.
oh, is it? Okay, because I've heard something extremely similar to that.
Yeah.
You're
So that's why
tickling
I think it's universal.
my memory, and I can't think of who it is or where it is, but yeah, okay. Um, all right, similar concept, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. Yes, I agree with the second one. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. So you have to defend your principle, even if it's against the people's ideas. But
Mm-hmm.
in matters of style, swim with the current. I'm not sure. He means that do not shock other people with your ideas, or
Well, in matters of style, I don't know. What does he mean by that? Does he mean like literally, like I don't know, convention and like clothing and hairstyle and like the lifestyle? What? I don't know.
I I've noticed that people like what's his name? This the one who said the evolution theory.
Darwin,
Darwin,
Charles
yes.
Darwin.
Yes, Charles Darwin. People like Charles Darwin and this one who established Turkey, they have their own ideas.
Yeah.
Ataturk, yes. Yes, they have their own ideas, but in matters of style, they swim with the current. They say we believe in God
Aha.
and we believe, yeah. But
Aha.
they have their own ideas, and they put their own ideas in, you know,
Yeah.
they don't want to shock the people with their own ideas.
Right. That's
Yeah,
interesting
maybe.
and nice job explaining it by giving examples. That's good, and I hadn't thought about it that way. That's quite interesting that you say that.
So
Absolutely. Yeah.
so people
Makes sense.
accept their ideas.
Right. Um, right. More or less, they pick their fights, as we say.
Yes, yes.
Pick your fights, pick your battles, choose what battles to fight and let the other ones go. You can't fight every battle, so if it's a matter of principle, then battle away, I guess. Uh, okay, Heidi, do you have any comments of it?
About lifestyle or how to live, you should swim in the current, the kind of trend or the movement of the society. But
Right.
basic idea, you should stand like a rock. You shouldn't change the basic idea.
I like that. I like that movement of society. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, that makes sense. Uh, okay. Hmm. Chow, any comments? Have you ever had a fight where you stood your ground on a matter of principle?
Um,
Oh my God,
yes,
I have.
the principle. I haven't encountered something like that, but yeah. Well, I do have a principle that don't get involved with the government officials, don't join the bureaucratic system. That is why I didn't attend any some civic service examination or something like that. So I just keep away from that.
Okay. Uh, yeah. I've frankly I've quit a couple of jobs just as a matter of principle. I just wouldn't kowtow to a new rule, which I thought was basically immoral. Or I've been asked to do immoral things working for a company, and I just wouldn't do it. Or what I felt was immoral. Morality is relative. I understand that, but nevertheless, for me, it was a matter of principle. Have you ever said that? Have you ever actually said that? Well, it's a matter of principle. English speakers say that a lot. I have to tell you,
I
it's a
think
common argument.
yeah, we see the same thing like that.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a matter of principle. I mean, Nader, does that sound familiar to you?
Yes, I had that argument before with my ex-boss, not this company, before in my first company, and he said I was not going to be harmed by their decision, but I said no, 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 I'm not. They want us to sign something, and I told them I'm not going to sign. It's a matter of principle. Then he said, if you have a family, you wouldn't say that, but now because you're a single, you say that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've heard that argument before as well. As a matter of fact,
If you have a
uh,
family.
yeah, I've heard that argument before about things, but I don't buy it. Because you have a family, you're supposed to be more secure and less security minded and less idealistic. But sorry, it doesn't work that way for all of us.
They mean that if you have a family, you are afraid of being fired.
That's right, exactly.
Mm.
More security minded. Now, here's a quote which sometimes controversial. Chow, can you read this one?
Yeah. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants.
Aha. What's old Tommy Jeff, TJ saying here? Is it pretty straightforward? What do you think, Chow?
I think that's that kind of true because when the government become tyrants, when they overthrow the individual rights, individual liberty, the people have to, I mean, to uh, er, stand up and to against it. Um, I think they need to do that. Otherwise, just keep surrender their own liberty to the other and giving their a, it will not good. You know, the power will exaggerate it, expanding itself, inflated itself. So
Okay, maybe surrendering their liberties
yeah,
might be
surrendering.
a better verb, but okay. Uh, is it okay? You know what? Thomas Jefferson basically had the idea. Okay, America's founded as a republic, but he never said this is the ideal government. He didn't believe that. In fact, he believed that any and every type of government sooner or later will become corrupt, and that power will corrupt, and inevitably there will be those who will establish tyranny.
Yeah,
Do you think that that is true?
uh,
Let me.
yeah,
Okay, Chow, go ahead.
yeah. I think that too. That is why there are lots of anarchists and over there, and I I'm very close to that point, anarchist. So yeah, sometimes people talk about the small government, the minimalist. No, the Forgot
Hmm.
that word. What was that word? The anarchist and the menarchist, or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but some people argue that that won't exist. There's no small government. How small it is small. I mean, it will inflate itself, it expand itself, become bigger and bigger. So once it has the monopolized power, so that is why I
Right.
think the idea of anarchist is interesting. And I'm reading the books of that now.
Okay. Yeah. Right. And part of what you're talking about is why in the United States, as you travel from state to state, you have different laws to deal
Yeah.
with, completely different laws in some cases. That kind of was the idea. Uh, hmm. Heidi, how do you feel about that concept? Sooner or later, every government will become corrupt and tyrannical.
Mhm.
Power will be centralized.
And even that depend on the society, the total idea.
Mm.
The liberty is different. For example, when Japan started World War II, at first many people disagree with that, but a strong power came out. Then if you say disagree with that, maybe you were arrested. Then freedom is always infringed by the big power.
Yeah. Is it inevitable, though? I mean, really, I think Thomas Jefferson thought it was inevitable. There's no way to continue a government without it eventually corrupting.
Mhm.
Nader, what do you think? You think that's true?
I think which one is true? The
That
government
that
will be corrupted sooner or
inevitably,
later.
that's it. Yes,
I cannot say it's a rule, but that's what we see.
it
That,
certainly looks that way. Yeah.
yeah. But here, this
Right.
regarding that quote, I
Yeah.
understand that until patriots, but then tyrants. Does he mean that people needs to revolute and execute the tyrants, or what?
Yeah, that's basically what he's saying.
Mm.
From time to time, sooner or later, there can be, will be, and should be revolution. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but that was basically the thinking of the founding fathers in America. They kind of set up things so that people could revolt eventually, sooner or later. And the idea was that that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Does that sound crazy?
No, 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 no. I like it.
Well, basically that's the idea. Uh,
But with the blood of tyrants, I don't like the blood here.
oh well, yeah,
We can put them in prison. That's enough for me.
right, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Could I?
remember, it was 200 years ago. Yeah, Chow, go ahead.
Uh,
What's
yes,
up?
that remind me of the. I think there was a man called Penn or something like that with at that period in America who wrote a book about the revolution. Is it Thomas Penn or something like that? Thomas
William
Penn.
Penn.
Oh,
William
William
Penn.
Penn.
Yep.
Uh, he's a kind of uh, standing in the same line, in same boat with Jefferson, and because
Uh-huh.
right after the American Revolution, there is another revolution that happened in France, the French Revolution,
Indeed.
and yeah, but it's a different revolution. The Thomas Jefferson and the Penn thought is the same, and the Penn come to the France and solve the revolution, and then he feel like that there's something wrong with that because the revolutionists of the France they want to cut the king's head, they want to execute the king, and the
Right.
Penn said no 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 don't do that. But the French revolutionists put Penn into the jail, so. I
Uh-huh.
think that's it because then the France become some kind of collectivism. So uh, I think Jefferson don't doesn't quite advocate the blood or to kill the king or tyrant. He just he because he focuses on individual rights. It's not
Right.
that bloody. Yeah,
Right. Maybe he's speaking figuratively. Well, we
yeah,
hope.
yeah. I think
Right.
so.
Yeah, it's the American Revolution and the French Revolution are very intimately and intricately woven together. And as you there's a number of key players that figure in both. Lafayette on the French side, Benjamin Franklin was the ambassador from the United States to France during this period. William Penn, as you mentioned. Yes, there's a number of key players. Samuel Adams was temporarily. There's an interesting history. I read an awesome biography of Benjamin Franklin. I wish I could remember the name of it. But anyway, wow. A lot of little things that just really I did not know before, not taught in the history books. A lot of sneaky playing going on, and I don't know, backroom deals and craziness. But in any case, yeah, what you're saying is true, and yeah, very interesting. Well, okay, let's move on. Let's read an ridiculously controversial. Okay, here's one of the founding fathers of America. So just think about this one. Okay. Heidi, I guess it's your turn. Can you read this one? Another big long one for you.
A strong body makes the mind strong. As to the species of exercises, I advise a gun. While this gives moderate exercise to the body, it gives boldness, enterprise, and independence to the mind. Games played with the ball and others of that nature are too violent for the body and stamp no character on the mind. Let your gun, therefore, be your constant companion of your works.
Yep. Okay. How do you like that, Heidi? Games played with a ball are too violent. Instead, you should play with your gun.
It's not different from Japan.
Yeah. Quite a concept there. Yeah, I found this one. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this myself. As an American, it's kind of jaw-dropping. Okay, it explains a lot, possibly. I find it very ironic and funny that the games played with the ball are too violent for the body.
Ball and the gun is much different.
Yeah, well, one would think. But here's another thing. Americans think of guns as sporting, firing guns, I don't know. In Japan, do people shoot guns as a sport?
No, I've never seen any gun in my life.
Okay. Yeah, well, shooting a gun is a sport. It's in, it's in the biathlon. Actually, I really like that sport, where you cross-country ski and you shoot at targets. There's target shooting. There's skeet, very popular.
There are several gun clubs only catching animals.
Uh-huh. Oh, well,
Yeah.
they're
It's
killing animals.
kind of sport or a job.
Okay, all right.
But
Hunting club.
we don't have some pistol, short one. No, people can have the long one, rifle or something to kill animal, not people.
Right. I understood. Obviously, gun laws are radically different.
And
Well,
if you don't have any permission, you can't have even knives on the street.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just thinking about the Philippines. In the Philippines, you have people on the streets that will sell you commando knives and tasers, pepper spray, whatever. Then street vendors. Last weekend, I was walking downtown, and somebody tried to sell me a big old Bowie knife or a taser. Started chasing me down the street, really trying to make a sale because I showed some interest. Let me see that. Oh, that's interesting. I just wanted to look at it. But of course, if you pay any attention at all to a street vendor, then they end up chasing you down the street, which is pretty scary considering a man with a big knife and a taser is chasing me down the street. But in reality, just a salesman. Nader, question. Are guns considered a sport in Egypt or Saudi Arabia, Middle Eastern thinking?
Sport. They have clubs for this. If you shoot, you what do you call this sport? You shoot dishes or
Yeah,
plates.
okay. They're called clay pigeons, actually. Sounds weird, but in fact, that's what they're called. You shoot clay pigeons, and the sport is called skeet.
Skit. Okay.
Yep, that's
I
what it's
cannot
called.
see Verbling chat, so I'm not
I
sure.
can't either. I
Ah,
couldn't open
uh,
it. That's
Okay,
why.
good. You are writing. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I can't either. That's the
So,
whole reason I had to give you guys the link. I couldn't actually open Verbling Chat at all. But anyway, yeah.
thank you for that. So, but guns are not allowed for normal people. You have to get a permission to buy a gun, and to get a permission, it's very difficult. So,
It kind of sounds
cannot
funny.
say it's.
Guns are not allowed for normal people. Only wackos
No,
and violent
only people.
extremists may have guns.
Yes, for sure they have. And people, if you have a big land and if you know people in government, so they can give you a permission. So, you have to use your relations to get a gun.
Is there any hunting in Saudi Arabia?
In Saudi Arabia, yes.
What do you hunt?
They hunt animals like deers or.
Oh,
It's
really?
not.
There's deer?
Yes, but it's not formally allowed, but people do.
Okay.
And because
Yes.
they have a lot of deserts here,
Right.
so you cannot control all of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Out in the wilderness there.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
they have
Interesting.
laws, but some people do not respect laws as well.
Right. Okay. Chow, any last thoughts here?
I think gun is good to it's good. It's good to the citizen to balance the power. And also, I remember in the South America, lots of people have guns and they are more uh, independent from the government. So I heard a story that there was a kind of state government want to to extract the land of a farmer. I mean, the government want to get the land of a farmer and get his cows or bulls or something, and the local people just become they join together, they hold guns and riding on the horse and facing the government. Then the government just went away. I mean, the government was defeated by the just recently. I think 1 year ago or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Right. Right. I know of what you speak. But that guy was an idiot. I have to tell you though. That guy he's grazing his cattle on government land, so he's basically trespassing, and he wasn't paying any money, and he wasn't paying his taxes. So the guy was basically a criminal. But then you're right. For whatever reasons, people got upset that the government was going to take the land, which was the government's land to begin with. Anyway, it's a national park, which the guy just basically stole. So, yeah, okay. Sometimes that can go wrong, too. People having guns. They may totally wrong ideas. Okay,
I believe
next one.
you do not see. I believe you do not see this quote, or you didn't encounter it through your education.
This quote? Oh, no, I believe you're
Yeah,
right.
sure. I
Absolutely.
guess they are hiding.
I have to, yeah, that's right. You have to educate yourself, sometimes. Um, Speaking of educating yourself, check this quote out. Nader, can you read this one for us?
I hope we shall crush in its pears the aristocracy of our moneyed corporations, which dare already to challenge our government to a trial by strength, and bid defiance to the laws of our country.
Ay, ay, ay.
I do not understand anything.
Okay, well, this is back in 1776, is whatever, getting on 240 years ago. He wants to crush the aristocracy, the continuation of the wealthy, the privileged, even the families of the privileged of our moneyed corporations. Okay, you're Bank of America, Lehman Brothers. Yeah. IBM, GE, and McDonald's. Walmart, which dare already to challenge our government to a trial by strength, and indeed they are. The pharmaceutical companies and the banks basically now create their own laws and bid defiance to the laws of our country. Thomas Jefferson was way ahead of his time on this one, in my opinion, because at this point in the United States of America, the corporations write the laws. That's
The
my opinion.
corporations have their people in the government. Yes, I totally
Indeed, they
agree.
do. There's
Yes,
and
Dick
at this
Cheney
point,
is a very good
right?
example of this.
It's a very good example. Case in point. And the head of the Fed. Where else can we go? Oh, the Treasury. Hello, under George Bush, the Secretary of the Treasury was the CEO of Lehman Brothers, and then he went to, was it Lehman Brothers or the other one? Okay, Goldman Sachs. I'm sorry.
Yes, Goldman
Correction,
Sachs.
Goldman Sachs. And then he became the Secretary of Treasury. Wow, no conflict of interest there, is there? There's no way
No.
he could do anything corrupt. No way. Of
Mhm.
course he went in with all the benevolent, wonderful, happy flowers and bunny rabbits feelings to help America. Of course he
Mm.
did. Yeah.
He's a good man.
Oh, sure he is. And then the revolving door in current American politics, you go from a giant company being a CEO, then you're in the government, then you go back to the company. Wow, what could go wrong there? Yeah. In any case, during Jefferson's time, that was not allowed. This little tidbit has eroded over time, and now it's basically status quo.
Mhm.
Chow,
Yes.
any comments about this?
Yeah. Particularly about because sometimes when this happen, when people say that the company combined with the government or they are in bed with each other, some people criticize that is the evil of the capitalism, but it's not the capitalism, but the crony capitalism or corporatism. So so I think sometimes maybe people, I mean, misdirect their aim, point their finger indirectly to, I mean, incorrectly to the company, because the company can only get the power from the government, and then they expand their monopolized power. But for a good company like Apple or something, they are very competitive in the market. They created the product for the normal people, make the price cheaper. That is a good thing. But for the company who embed with the government, use this the privilege, that is something we should blame for.
Right. Okay. So, are you saying that people generalize the idea of crony capitalism, and okay, there's some good and there's some bad? Basically,
No, I think crony capitalism is bad because it changed the idea of the capitalism. Capitalism should be everyone take their own risk, everyone keep away, make the government smaller as possible, and the market should be, I mean, independent
well,
and competitive. But the
well, now
crony
you're
cap,
flirting with the idea of the free market, the whole concept of free market economics, which I would argue is an impossibility. One way or the other, human greed is going to influence and cause rules or make the advantage. Somebody gets an advantage, somebody doesn't. It's inevitable. That's just my opinion. I have no faith in human nature.
yeah, I know. I understand. That is why we need the computation from the market itself. The market can give a very strict a monitor on the every single company. But when government getting involved, is the government give the privilege to the certain company. They choose the company, and then the companies become bigger and greedy, more greedy. So
Hmm.
that kind of this confuse people's view toward the company it's per se.
Yeah. Hey, Chow, have you ever read Isaac Asimov's Foundation series?
Foundation,
It's
yeah.
yeah, it's called the Foundation series. It's a series of books. It's science fiction, but Isaac Asimov was a um, pretty brilliant writer. He actually invented a lot of things that now exist in writing. But in any case, this series describes the evolution of society and economy
Hmm.
over millennia. Um, and his basic concept was that okay, from chaos, then you have religion, then you have kings and queens, then you have democracy, then you have inevitably democracy leads to actually an
And
economic control model where basically the merchant princes control everything, and the government is in fact run by corporations. There is no what we consider representative government. Inevitably, it will become totally controlled by corporations.
uh,
It's interesting.
yeah, it's interesting that if just imagine that if there's no government and only company, I mean the Walmart and Apple, and they can only make some laws and people have always well, it haven't been one in the history for but
Anyway, yeah. Okay. Heidi, are corporations taking over Japan
Do not.
as we speak?
Let's return.
Okay. Yeah.
Money
Uh,
can do anything.
money can do anything. Okay.
Let's
Well,
return or cup noodle return.
yeah, it can certainly grease the wheels. I mean, I think we could probably all cite examples of how clearly money has influenced the market in our respective countries. I'm fairly confident in saying that. We could probably all give an example.
should I have
Um,
my final comment on today's
sure.
yeah. Actually, I don't think that companies are controlling a country. Rather, it's the consumers who control the market. Because imagine
Yeah.
we have before we have the Nokia in the mobile phone market is very monopolized. I mean, quote unquote, and also some other
Right.
big giant IBM. But now because the technology involved in computation, they faded away from the history. So then the new one come and the prices get more and more and the prices get lower. So I think it's the consumers ultimately decide what the company's direction will go. So
Uh-huh.
my opinion.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's absolutely the consumer's influence obviously is undeniable. I mean, really. But okay. In any case, uh, lady and gentlemen, sorry to say, thanks for joining me. Thanks for finding me today, but I have to go. My time is
Thank you
up.
very
Thank you.
much.
Uh, thanks. Very interesting, though. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, and